Hi, my name is Regina Warner, and I chose for my object speech something that's not actually an object, but I chose the subject of camping because that's something special to me. Um, the reason why I chose it because growing up as a child, that's something that me and my family shared together, and I wanted to be able to share that information with you. Many people have misconceptions about camping. When people think about camping, they think about just camping in the middle of the woods, and that's it, and being exposed to all kind of elements and animals. But actually, in my experience growing up, camping is so much more. You can learn so much more, and hopefully through this speech, I can give you an opportunity, through my experiences, to learn about camping and that it can be something that can be enjoyed by anybody. Um, there's so many different sides of camping. Some may know through either friends or their own experience that um, there's camping, there's a roughing side of camping, and then there's a commercial side of camping. The experiences that I had growing up is really kind of the commercial side, but some of what the roughing side of camping is when people um, tend to go backpacking. They load up backpacks with food and supplies and they walk in the wilderness and they basically just camp in the middle of nowhere. But you get to see beautiful parts of America that way. Another example of camping is a commercial side, and that's the side that I spent most of my life enjoying. And in the commercial side of camping, you find that there are actual campgrounds out there where you can basically pay a rental fee and actually rent out a small portion of land. And in those camping facilities, you have hot showers, you have toilets, you have bathrooms, and for some of the better campgrounds, you even have staff that work there that will organize activities for the groups. So there's a lot of things about camping that many people don't know, and these are just two examples. I really enjoyed the commercial side of camping growing up because as a child, you can kind of come and go as you wanted to. And we didn't have to be up under our parents. There were many activities. There's boating, there's fishing, and not to mention the most enjoyable part of camping for me was just building a campfire and sitting around talking by the fire and roasting marshmallows. But many people combine um, those two aspects, as I mentioned before, of camping, kind of roughing it and having the commercial side. Some people will even go to state um, parks or national parks to do their hiking and backpacking, and then we'll come to a more organized and more what I like to call a more civilized campsite to um, finish their camping out. So, and one thing that's interesting about camping, and I didn't mention this earlier, is that when it even comes to eating, that there's nothing better than having barbecue out on a hot fire, on top of a hot fire. You put a grate out, and often you've barbecued um, chicken, pork. Um, we've even gone fishing and grilled fish on the grill for dinner. So there's so many things that you can do. If you're an outside person and you want to get in touch with nature and see many beautiful sides of this country, camping is one way that I would recommend doing that. And camping appeals to many different people. It's not just one type of person that camping can appeal to. There's so many um, different sides of camping. As I mentioned earlier, there's so many different activities that you can do with camping. It appeals to the young at heart, the older folks, families, single people, all types of people. One thing I find is interesting that when you're younger, you're more apt to go and do the backpacking. When you're with families, you do kind of more commercial. And when you're older and you have more money and you're more established, you tend to do what I call the luxury side of camping, where you have a big mobile home where you have everything. It's one-stop shopping. Um, but in conclusion, one of the things that you need to think about if this is the first time that you are experiencing camping is go out and get information. Go out to the internet. Very useful. There's many useful sites that you can go to do some research. You have to first have an open mind. Start small. That means kind of go out, find out what you need, basic stuff that you need. There are many camping websites out there that will help you with checklists, like everything from having batteries, making sure you have matches that are waterproof, making sure you have a tent, sleeping equipment, things like that. And then pick a place that's close by. And then choose, most importantly, a season that's friendly. So no, you wouldn't want to camp in the fall. Maybe you wouldn't want to camp at the beginning of summer, but maybe you want to camp in the middle of summer where you know that the weather's really nice, and try somewhere close. Maybe go out for 1 or 2 days and see how you like it. I would definitely recommend, if you've never done it before, to try camping.